Hey, this is Erica from Ever Educating, and this channel is for teaching tips, tools, ideas, and resources for new college instructors and overall academic or alt-ac advice. And as we are in August, I'm doing weekly videos rather than bi-weekly for this month. And last week it was about like 3 things to consider before the semester begins, 3 things to keep in mind before you solidify your lesson plans. Today though, I want to talk about something fun, and that is icebreakers. And so I thought I'd give 5 new ideas for icebreakers. I have a whole playlist for icebreakers in person, in hybrid, on fully online courses. There's quite a few on my channel already, but I thought I'd give some new ideas just to keep it fresh. So we're going to start with the least amount of tech to the most amount of tech needed in order to do these icebreakers. And so the first one requires no technology because it's pulling prompts out of the hat or whatever equivalent you want. And so in this case, you're just writing out prompts for your students. If you know how many students you have, which you should in advance, say you have 30, then you write 30 prompts or type them up, print it, cut them into little strips, and then again, close them up and put them into a hat, a bowl, a cup, whatever the case may be. And then as the icebreaker, it's very simple. It's just going around student to student. Each student takes out a prompt and answers the question. And so of course, these can be completely fun ones, completely random ones that are course specific, but it's a way to get started. So you just kind of say, okay, say your name first, maybe a fact about you. I'm a freshman, I'm a senior, my major's X, my major's Y, maybe have a little couple prompts, and then the question, right? And again, that can be as simple as what's your favorite color and why, or it can be, what's a country that you most want to visit in the world and why, or it can be, again, things that are course specific. Right? So why are you taking this course? What are you most interested about this course topic? X, Y, and Z. Okay, so very simple, but it's a way to get started in learning their names and getting to know them a bit on a personal level. The second one only involves needing technology on your end. And so this is Guess the Song. So you can create a playlist on your phone or computer or the case may be, and it's exactly what it sounds like, right? So you play a small clip of it and then students guess the song, okay? So this is obviously totally fun, probably harder to connect it to the course unless like your course is like sociology and you choose songs that are tied into concepts from your course, or maybe you're doing world history and so you use songs from around the world. So there are technically options for this depending on what you're teaching, but for the most part it's just a fun game of, hey, let's listen to some music, can you guess what the song is or who the artist is, what decade it was released in, etc., etc. And it's a way to, again, just to kind of get to know each other, to relax, ease into the first day of class. So that's an option as well. The third one is also low tech in the sense that only you need technology, and that's playing categories. And so there's an online website that does this very easily. I'll make sure I link it below. But if you don't know what categories is, so basically it gives like 12 prompts and then a random letter. And so you have to answer the prompts using that letter as the first letter of the word, right? So if you have the category is countries and the letter is C, then maybe the prompts are like, North American country, South American country, country flag, or country food, et cetera, and then you have to have the C at the beginning of every word on that list. You can count up the points and then you have a winner. So in the one that I'm going to share below, what I like is that it already has categories you can use if you prefer to just use what's already given, but you could also remove those and create your own categories. And so again, this could be something that is completely random and you just use the ones that are given, or you can make some of them course specific and some not. So it is a way to, again, get them kind of competing against each other, right? Because you want to get the most points. Maybe there's a reward for them at the end of the icebreaker. But it's just a way to have some fun, to get to thinking, and at some point, maybe they work in teams, right? And so they get to know each other in that sense and start creating that community in your classroom. So that's a fun game. So I thought I'd add it here because again, there is a very user-friendly version online. The fourth option now requires everybody to have technology, especially a phone would be easiest. And that's just going to Kahoot. And you don't have to curate Kahoot games on your own. You can just discover, you can just search for Kahoot games that intrigue you, right? Ones you think will be fun. And so you can just go through the website and say, okay, yeah, there's one about countries, or there's one about the US specifically. There's one about, pop music. There's one about food. And you can just kind of look through them, tweak them if you want to, and then play them in your course as, again, a competition, but also potentially you pause in between each question and you chat about it a bit, like, oh, you know, we learned this fact about Oreos, like what's your favorite chocolate, right? So you can use it as a starting point, and it's very easy because you're not creating it yourself, you're just finding them online and then playing them in the classroom. So if you already use Kahoot, this could be a fun one to do. If you have no idea what Kahoot is or how it works, I'll link some videos below. And the fifth one requires them all to have their own computers. So if you are, and being there in person, so this doesn't work for fully online courses. So if you're in a computer lab when you're teaching, then potentially you can do 6 degrees of Wikipedia. And so again, I'll link a website below that does this, but in this case, it's a game where there's a starting point and there's an end point. And you have a certain amount of time to get from that starting point to that end point. And it feels random, but by clicking the links in the Wikipedia articles that lead in between them, you get from point A to point Z. Okay, so point A may be, you know, Oreos, let's say, right? And point Z is Oprah Winfrey, right? So you had to click links in the Oreo article that leads you to another article. You click links from that one. And so how few articles and how fast can you get from Oreos to Oprah Winfrey, right? So that's the game. Again, there's online versions of this. So this could be a good partnered activity as well, or even 3 students at a time. So again, you have the community building. It's really, if you have competitive students, it can be really fun because they get really intense because it is time limited, right? So personally, I'm very bad at this game, so I would need a partner or two to help me out, but I did think it was really fun to play. And so, you know, in this case, the game, you can't control what A or Z is, I don't think. It is something that is just given to you, but potentially there might be ones out there where you can do that. And so you can, again, make it course specific or not, depending on what you're interested in doing. So these are just 5 different ideas. Again, I have multiple videos with more, ones that I've done quite a few times and they went really well when I did them. So I'll link that playlist below. I will have a video every week this month rather than bi-weekly, just because it is the first month of fall term. And so if you want to make sure not to miss out on those, go ahead and click subscribe and click like if you're going to try any of these icebreakers. If you want to share your own, the comment section is open for doing so.